Let's see. Of course it's not there. Yeah, that's a scandal in Tomra. Then where the heck do I start this quest? Let's see, where I'm supposed to start from the affable Dwarf. I know I need to be a crafting class, but shouldn't it be started here? Let me figure this out. Oh, there it is. I'm just blind. Okay, let's head over to Wright and do the first of the Dwarven tribal quests. Oh, let's see this way. It's dwarfin' time. A Tomran dwarf finds himself far away from home. Far by Tomran standards, that is. Bugger my head, you scared the life out of me. Phew, for a moment I thought you were a hobgoblin. Seems being so far from Tomra has got me jumping at my shadow. Hold on, I know you. Oh, this is the affable Townsdorf, right. I was thinking this was Ronitt. You're the one who was helping Ronitt. As for me, the name's Brigitte. I forgot to introduce myself before. I was there when that off little lad gave his first proper lally-ho. What, you don't remember me? This is, from that quest, this quest this was introduced with 5.3, and that quest was introduced with 5.0, so this, there's actually supposed to be some time that, there was some real-life time that passed between this and the previous quest. So that makes this dialogue make a bit more sense. In all fairness, the fact you covered from head to toe in identical outfits does make it a little difficult to tell one dwarf from the next. Sir, that's, well, they have their ways and we have ours. Anyway, it's wonderful to see you again, Brilliant. Brigitte was just asking us for directions. I'd almost forgotten about it, actually. I was on my way to... what was it called? Crystal Town? No, that's not it. Something to do with crystals. Gah, why can't I remember the sodding name? You see, Ronitt is nowhere to be found. He did leave a note behind in Tomra, though. Yes, the letter. I have it right here. He's obviously talking about the Crystarium. That picture. To whom it might concern, I am off to the Crystarium to find my first and best friend, Beryllion. If the chief asks where I've gone, just make something up. The automata will take care of my work, so he should have no reason to complain. Oh, and don't forget to feed them while I'm away, with coal, that is. Bye! That's what it says, anyway. That boy may have mastered the fine art of a good old-fashioned lally-ho, but that won't give him a very far in the Crystarium, or whatever it's called. Yes, and even if the opening pleasantries go as planned, it's what comes after that matters most. He'd be the first to admit that polite conversation isn't exactly his forte. Since he went there looking for Beryllion, maybe the two of you could go and find him before he gets into or causes any trouble. That reminds me, will Ronitt being away lead to any difficulties in the rock phosphate or grog arrangement between our villages? The Orehound Ogre he built seems to be going about its work as normal, even without him here to operate it, so I think we'll be fine for the time being. Alright, that settles it. We're off to find Ronitt, although I should probably point out that this is actually the first time I've gone more than a mall or so outside of Tomra. I'm counting on you, so please try to keep the mishaps and misadventures to a bare minimum. I can't guarantee that, but I'll try my best. Not that I'm scared, mind you. Ho ho, not one bit. Ahem. Without any further ado, let's make haste for the Crystarium. Crystarium. And we will wish you both a safe journey to the Crystarium. Well then, let's head over to the Crystarium. Do a quick teleport. And check this out. That's great. He probably took the what's it called? What are those things called again? Amaro. I've never seen so many people in one place. Unfortunately, not one of them is our errant engineer. Where could he be? I wouldn't be surprised if he's whimpering in some corner, wishing he'd never come here. With all these big folk walking about, he's probably scared one of them will trip over him. Well, slap my arse and call me a fuka. You're the second honest-to-God's dwarf I've seen tonight. Well, that's a good sign. Really? So where was the first? Over at the Mean, playing hide-and-seek by the looks of it. Or maybe he was just lost. That's him. It's got to be him. Come on, Brilliant. Let's go and nab him before he runs off again. Yep, let's go check out... Oh, okay, right. He said the Mean. I was thinking of the market. But the Mean is over here. So, this is the Mean, eh? From the name, I thought it'd be full of scowling faces. But they're all quite friendly. Anyway, where'd Ronitt get to? I don't see him. Ha! Found him! He really is sniveling and crying. So many of them, so sodden tall. I wish Brilliant were here. Beep. Brilliant detected. Brilliant! He actually... Oops. Oh, it's Walden. He's the, I think he's the culinarian and alchemist, facet, or whatever. Maybe not. I don't remember. It's been a bit since I finished up the Crystalline Mean questline. And doing all of those. So, when you heard that Brilliant is staying in the Crystarium, you came here looking for her? That's quite the journey for one so young. Getting here was easy. Starting conversations is what's hard. Every time I try giving someone a good old-fashioned lally-ho, they'd look at me like I'm daft or something. Never mind all that. You found Brilliant in the end, or she found you. More like. Come to think of it, why were you looking for her in the first place? It's simple, really. I always thought Brilliant was just, I don't know, helpful traveler or some such. But the chief tells me she's a hero who risked her life and limb to save the world. Yeah, that's about right. When I heard that, I thought it was only right that I do the same. Trouble is, I'm not sure where to start, but I'm not looking back to Tomra until I find a way to prove myself your equal. That's gonna take a while, dude. And while I'm not much of a fighter, there are other ways I can help those in need, because unlike the rest of my village, who can't think beyond their next pint of ale, I've got big dreams, ambitions. Now, there's nothing wrong with a well-earned drink or 10 after a hard day's work, but that's besides the point. How can you hope to compete with someone like Brilliant? You might be known as the greatest warrior the world's ever seen. But are you the world's greatest crafter? Well, actually, yes, but there's one thing I can do better than you. Crafting. Are you sure about that? Omnicrafter, by the way. I'm a crafter too, you fluffy bearded nincompoop. That's a very dwarf thing to say. Actually, I've been known to dabble in artistry myself. Nah. Don't shoot him down too hard. That's pretty funny, though. What? You must be joking! Why, Brilliant has been putting her skills as a blacksmith to help around the mean for some time now. Trust me to make friends with one of those annoying people who's good at everything. I don't know what that's like. I suppose there's no need to make it into a competition, though. Why don't we, what's the word? Cooperate? There might be someone around here who needs our help. How about you, miss? Got anything that needs mending? Or maybe one of my patented automata can carry out a few menial tasks? Where to begin? We did receive a report a few days ago of a caravan of merchants being attacked by roving sin-eaters, not far from Sullen. While they were able to escape without any casualties, they had no choice to abandon almost all of the produce they were transporting. I fear it's only a matter of time until it happens again. Is there anything you can do? Sin-eaters? Well, you're that. This Fetchomatic mech toad might come in handy. A few extra spiky bits should do the trick. On second thought, it might take more than that. I'll need somewhere to use as a workshop to carry out some modifications. You mean to say you built these yourself? It certainly is imposing, in a way. In a way, only a three-wheeled mechanical frog can be. Now there's a fine compliment if I have ever heard one, I think. This example of dwarven engineering was lovingly crafted by young Ronitt here. He's a descendant of the great blacksmith Watts, and well on his way to becoming the pride of Tomra in his own right. Yes, judging by the quality of this work, I can see why. In fact, I have a proposal. If you're willing to lend us your expertise, we can arrange space for you to use as a workshop. Really? When I say space, that's essentially all there is. We'd planned to build a storehouse near the Ostal Imperative, but we had to divert our resources elsewhere, and it was never completed. It seems to me you'd put it to good use. After all, a friend of Brilliant is a friend of ours. That's very generous of you, miss. I'll turn that place into a first-class workshop in 2 shakes of a newborn's beard. Excellent. I'll inform those at the Imperative, so they aren't too surprised when automata start appearing out of the blue. I suggest you make yourselves known to Lorathia, who owns the land. She's a regular at the Clearmount Springs, so try there first. Sounds like some meeting and greeting is in order. I reckon it'll go a lot smoother if you're there to cover for me in the likely event I put my foot in it somehow. I also have no bloody idea how to get there, so lead the way. Let's see, where are we headed? Over in Lakeland. Yeah, let's go over to Austell Imperative and then fly over there. So it looks like the quest is going to be around here. He's going to set up, Ronitt's going to set up his workshop over here, and then we will be able to do the crafting tribal quests here. Wonder if this will have any interesting rewards. Because I'm not really that interested in the Kitari rewards. I mean, at some point I want to do it just to complete all the Beast Tribe quests at some point, or the tribal quests at some point, and to just collect more minions and orchestration scrolls. But I'm not actually that interested in the mount. Anyway. So this is Clearmelt, eh? Funny name for a bunch of rocks and a couple of ponds, if you ask me. More importantly, where's that Lorathia person? You there, old crone. Oh, dude. Call me an old crone again, and I'll rip that silly beard off and shove it down your throat, you mouthy little gobshite. But if it's Lorathia you're after, you're looking at her, what do you want? Cadmus sent you, did she? If she thinks you're alright, that's good enough for me. So tell me what you're planning to make in this workshop of yours, and don't go thinking you can impress me with a load of technical jargon. I was an engineer myself, you know. I'm gonna modify this here automaton so that it can transport goods and keep them safe from Sinators. Ha! It won't be transporting much of anything with those stubby little arms, let alone fend off attackers. And even if it could store goods in its torso, by the time it's done windmilling into the bastards, all those wares will have been shaken to buggery. Good luck to the poor sods who have to sell that. Yeah, but the windmilling's the best part, Ronitt. Ronitt, the old woman has a point, you know. Less of the old, or I'll use that beard of yours to scrub the baths with the rest of you still attached. So, we need to carry as much as possible while striking the Sinators from a distance. That's it! Everyone, gather round! He's literally building a tank. Wicked white! It's so old, the inks probably are the only thing holding it together. The design's from the days before the flood, the brainchild of the great Watts himself. It's a self-propelled transportation device armed to the teeth. I call it the Rollin' Tankard. Its thick iron shell keeps the cargo inside safe and sound, while the cannon blasts any attackers to smithereens. What an amazing coincidence that you've had the perfect solution in your pocket this whole time, even before you knew what the problem was. This ain't no coincidence. Ever since I found a bunch of blueprints in a tightly locked safe back when I was little, I've taken them with me wherever I go. Never known when the Watts ideas might come in handy. Of course, I'm not gonna just make one of these, oh no. I'll make the whole bunch of them and send them all over Novront. Soon, everyone will see how great Dwarven engineering really is. But this only shows how it should look from the outside, with no mention of the inner workings. Are you sure you can pull this off? I'd bet my beard on it. And to be honest, Dwarven technology's come a long way since Watts' time. He probably didn't design the insides because there was no way to actually make something like this back then. Luckily, we've got my skills to bring Watts' ideas to life. I'll have a prototype up and running in no time. Listen, Ronitt, you're not the only one who knows how to swing a hammer around here. If we combine our efforts, it'll be ready even sooner. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. I must say, I'd be interested to see how well this all turns out. I'll let you use my land, as long as you don't turn it into a smoldering crater. You won't regret this. If we're to build a workshop, we'll need a few more pairs of hands. I'll head back to Tomra and round up some volunteers. Hold that right there. If this place is going to be overrun with dwarves, at least give me some way to tell you apart. How am I meant to know who's who if you all dress like that? Not sure if you realize this, madam, but we dwarves don't exactly have extensive wardrobes. But, in the interest of smooth running operation, I'll ask my friend Karut if there's anything we can do. So much for helping. More like bugger off back to Tomra and leave poor Ronitt to do everything by himself. Well, you're still here, so can you give me a hand instead? Let's go back and take a look at this plot of land, shall we? Let's see. I think it's supposed to be like an empty plot of land, right? And then, we're gonna be building up the workshop. Welcome to the workshop. Or workshop to be, I suppose I should call it. Either way, this is where Watts' visions will become reality. Although, I have to admit, it's not going to be easy as I've made it out. Having you here does make the task seem less daunting, though. And even though I was a bit miffed at first to hear you're into crafting as well, stealing my thunder and all that, I'm glad we've got something in common. If you can lend a hand between whatever it is the Warrior of Darkness does the rest of the time, it'd mean the world to me. So, what do you say, Berlian? Will you help me? What the world needs now is tanks. Sweet tanks. Of course I'll help. No, you talked yourself into this. Build your own damn tanks. Why would I answer that? I want a tank, damn it. Phew. I was worried you were going to say no for a moment there. Now, let's make some tanks. But before that, there's a few things we need to get in order. We won't get much work done without something at least resembling a workshop. If you're in the mood for helping, maybe you could rustle up some basic parts. I've got a list of everything I need. Anyone with even a pissin' interest in metalworking should be able to manage it, so I'm sure you'll be fine. As another example of my incredible foresight, I've already had the Fetchomatic Mechatoad collect a load of random, potentially very useful materials on the way over. This should be enough. If you somehow manage to bugger it up, don't worry. We've got plenty more. I'll be taking care of the rest of the preparations, so come and see me when you're done. Let's see, I need to make a crate of workshop supplies. Tribal quest, dwarves, workshop supplies. Doesn't need to be high quality. Of course, it's a bit easier when you're level 90. I still only have level 80 white script gear, white script gear. I could have bought a set of 90 crafter gear, but I just haven't felt like it. All done? Let's see what you've brought me then. Ah, I gotta say, I wasn't expecting it to be quite this good. Not showing off, are you? Me and the Mechatoad'll take care of the rest, so you can go and put your feet up for a bit. Don't want to be taking all the credit now. It's dwarfin' time. Oh, they got different colored helmets now. And armor. And a beard. There you are. Welcome to Watts Anvil. The two of you did all this? I can't believe it. Is that you, Ronitt? Why, I hardly recognized you. Have you done something with your beard? Well, yes. Well, spotted, Karut. According to legends, Watts had a brown beard and white horns. Seeing as I'm his descendant, I thought I'd follow suit. Now that we've got a proper workshop, we can get started on making a prototype of the Roland Tankard. To tell you the truth, I'm not used to having this sort of pressure. Still, I've got you and the others here to do the heavy essential tasks. So I'm sure everything will go as planned. Exactly as planned. And of course it won't. Speaking of essential tasks, I'll be handling the supply of various parts and whatnot. So come and see me when you're ready to show us those skills of yours. Ronitt and his fellow dwarves have thrown themselves wholeheartedly into their newest enterprise, namely, to provide trundling death machines for the needy. Who dis? Oh right, that's the other tribe. Watts Anvil, tribal quests unlocked.